Stephen Flynn.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I often think it's a grave pity in this House that the cameras tend to just be trained on the individual speaking, because it meant that the public did not get the opportunity that we did earlier on to look at the faces of the Labour MPs as this debate began, to see the glum, serious look on their faces as they recognise the significance of the situation that faces their Prime Minister here and now. And I'm sure it's a glum, angry, serious look that's shared not just by the Treasury front bench in the building here today, but those who are flogged in the public domain across broadcasting stations throughout the course of last week. And if I may, the Chief Whip is no longer in his place, but I would like to think that on Sunday that was the first occasion where he was happy to be in his new role, so he did not have to appear on the Sunday media rounds as the Business Secretary to defend the indefensible, to tell us all in the public domain that Peter Mandelson has singular qualities that nobody else on these Isles, nobody else on the planet possibly have, that make him fitting to be the ambassador to the United States of America. What a pitiful state to find ourselves in. What a pitiful state for the Prime Minister to find himself in. And this is mired in politics, I hate to say, because this is a political decision by the Prime Minister. He chose to stand at that dispatch box last week and not tell us, but tell the public that there was nothing to see here, that he had absolute confidence in Lord Mandelson. It is the Prime Minister, who chose to ignore the facts that were plainly in front of him, not for weeks, not for hours, not for days, but for months. He was the man who appointed Peter Mandelson to be the ambassador to the United States, the man who said to an FT journalist earlier this year to fuck off, because it was being, his quote, not mine, because he was being inquired about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. That was what Lord Mandelson said. He said it was an FT obsession. Well, guess what? It's our obsession now. And we are going to make sure that we get to the bottom of this. The Prime Minister is not above the scrutiny of the House of Commons, neither is he above the scrutiny of the public at home. But the greatest scandal of all, is the fact that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom appointed a man to that role, knowing that that man had maintained a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, despite the fact that Jeffrey Epstein had been convicted in 2008 in Florida. Convicted for having 14-year-old girls masturbate him. And the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom thought it was fitting for the best friend of that individual to hold the highest diplomatic office in the United States of America on behalf of the people of these Isles. What a complete disgrace. And the only thing that seems to have caused any consternation for the Prime Minister in any of this is not that that happened, but the fact that for a short period, Peter Mandelson appeared to think Jeffrey Epstein was innocent. Which draws us to the conclusion that if Peter Mandelson had thought that Jeffrey Epstein had maintained the friendship but thought he was guilty, he would still be in post. What has happened to the moral compass of this place, of the office of Prime Minister, where we can simply accept a rationale such as that? How can any victim of child sex abuse in these Isles or elsewhere have confidence in the structures that we put in place when the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and the Minister shakes his head. Is there an intervention that he wants to make? Is there something that he disagrees with in that assessment of those facts? Or does he want to present the additional detail to this House which makes any of that untrue whatsoever? No. I notice he's not shaking his head now, but I tell you who is shaking their head: the public at him and his Prime Minister for the decisions that they have taken. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, we're going into recess. All of us are mindful of the fact that this House is shutting down. But when we come back, we expect answers. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, he hopes that this is going to go away. But I and every other member who is sitting in this House right now can assure him that it is not.
Just for a moment, please be seated. Colleagues, there are children in the gallery. Let's keep our language tempered, make sure that we're being moderate in everything that we say. And I'll call Sir Alex Shelbrooke.